What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jelani and be whatever you want to call me. And today we are back with a different kind of style of video. I kind of wanted to do a review on this game that I found recently called Fragpunk. Now I'm going to be splitting this video into two parts. I want to talk about Fragpunk, give my reviews and honest criticisms of the game, because I actually did put a lot of hours into the game over the beta time that they had a release for, and I absolutely enjoyed it. And I also want to talk about the reviews that other people are saying, and also talk about the entire gaming community as a whole and how ungrateful we are for innovation as much as we ask for games to innovate. Because honestly, the real catalyst for me making this video, because I always did plan to make a review on Fragpunk, but I never really got into the kitchen and start cooking it until today when I saw a post from this one YouTuber. I really forgot his name, and honestly he was just hating on the game without even really giving it a chance, and honestly didn't even really look like he had the credentials to even know what he was talking about, which really pains me to see, because a small game like this with small indie developers is very prone to a lot of criticism, and a lot of the bigger YouTubers that I've seen that have reviewed this game absolutely love it. But with those small cult tight-knit YouTubers, their fans are definitely going to believe whatever they say, and I just want to make sure that this game gets the representation that it actually deserves with an actual in-depth review. And with all that being said, let's get straight into the video. Fragpunk is a 5v5 tactical shooter made by Bad Guitar Studios. Now, if you don't know Bad Guitar Studios, they're actually a kind of sub-development studio under the Netease game studio, which is responsible for titles like Naraka Blade Point, Dead by Daylight Mobile, and even some of your favorite PUBG ripoffs and Minecraft ripoffs. Along with that, Netease is also responsible for one of the most popular team shooters in today's gaming landscape, Marvel Rivals, which they have recently just released and has taken over the world. So the fact that they're not only taking over the team shooter genre but expanding into the tactical shooter genre is honestly very interesting. Now, me personally, I really don't know where this spark from Netease came from, but I think as a community we can all come together and say that we appreciate the new quality of games that Netease is bringing to the gaming community. But now that you know where Fragpunk came from, let's talk about the rule set. Fragpunk is a 5v5 tactical movement shooter that follows the classic attacker-defender bomb play gameplay loop that's been popularized by games like Valorant and CSGO. You start the game by picking a total of 12 Lancers, which are the agents or the operators of this game. After picking your Lancer, you load into what's called the card phase, where both teams are able to invest crystals into certain cards that can affect the gameplay with each round. Each round, each team is able to build up crystal by planting the bomb, killing enemies, and or finding crystal shards around the map. These cards have very special effects. You can activate cards that give enemies bigger heads, give you free shield when you stand in the rain. You can even give yourself a samurai katana and run around chopping enemies to pieces like Genji from Overwatch. This gameplay loop makes sure that every round is not like the last, and every round really does feel fresh and can be adjusted to anyone's playstyle. In the ranked mode of the game, you choose a card captain that chooses the cards for your team, which as an IGL, I can greatly appreciate because it requires you to have a certain knowledge of the game and pushes for team collaboration and communication throughout the rounds. After you pick your cards, you spawn in game where you can open the shop and choose from up to 18 weapons, 3 of those weapons being utility pistols like the flashbang pistol, the smoke pistol, and the explosive pistol, which I think is a very smart way of working utility into the game without sacrificing your characters, because it gives the developers more breathing room to work with the depth of their characters when they're designing them, and not designing them to kind of fill a space of a specific utility. Even though there's a guy that's literally a walking flashbang, but we'll get into that later. Now, the difference with Fragpunk's way of operating their weapon system that makes it so unique and skill expressive is the fact that you can only use one weapon each half before having to switch to a new weapon in the shop. This means that if you choose your best gun the first round and you die with it, there's no going back to that weapon for the rest of the half unless you kill someone for it or you take a spin on one of the gun slots that are located in your spawn that's only available in unranked modes. This mechanic is one of my favorite mechanics in the game because it allows for a variety of playstyles to be conjoined into one. Not only that, but it creates a unique kind of quote-unquote economy system to make sure that these players have to think before deciding their loadout for the next upcoming round. Now, Fragpunk has a very colorful cast of characters, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't have enough room in my script for all of this, so I'm just gonna do a quick synopsis on all of the characters in the game, and you guys can choose which one you want to play when the game comes out. Corona. This guy is a walking flashbang. Look at him if you want to die. Axon. He looks like Octane, but he's not. And he has a cool guitar shotgun and can slide and throw grenades. Pretty cool character. Nitro. This is your classic Rampart Torbjorn let my turrets do the work character. She also has a drone that shoots rockets that does really good damage, so pretty cool. Broker. Another one of my favorites. This is the big black man with the rocket launcher. He will blow you the bits, and honestly, he's really good for holding sight. He's good on attack and defense, and he can be used anywhere. Hollow Point. Hollow Point is your classic sniper, your classic Widowmaker, your classic everything. If you want to snipe and you want to take people's heads off, this character is the best for that. She really doesn't have any other util to help her do anything else, so Kismet. If you like playing Wraith, you'll like playing this character. Circuit. Do you like mommy dummies? Do you like MILFs? Then you'll love this character. She controls sand and is basically Gara. Now, there is a new Lancer that the devs have revealed, but I don't know any information on them, so I'm going to encourage you guys to play Fragpunk when it drops on March 6th and check it out for yourself. Now, I know I did miss a couple of characters, but I'm only doing that because I want to try and incentivize you guys to go try Fragpunk. This game looks like it has so much love put into it. The aesthetic of the game is amazing. The look of the characters is amazing. The gunplay feels very fun and energetic, and I just want everyone to just give this game a try. And now that we're coming up on the end of the video, guys, I want to use this last little section of the video to kind of show you guys the opinions of the people that have actually played the Fragpunk beta. Back when the Fragpunk beta was actually in and everyone was playing it, I actually went to the Fragpunk Discord to ask people what was their favorite part about Fragpunk or their opinions of Fragpunk in general, and these were the responses I got. Mango Top Hat says, I enjoyed the individuality of the characters and the impact the cards had on the game. And honestly, guys, I just couldn't agree with this statement more when it comes to talking about Fragpunk as a game. Like, the cards just add so much individuality to every single round, and the characters mesh and combo together surprisingly well despite how different the characters are built. Kelvin said, only thing I disliked from it was the sound system. There's no volume difference with footsteps, even though there should be. When I was playing on the desert map or whatever it's called, I was mid and I was hearing footsteps on A that should have been muffled, but they were clear as day, which made me think they were right next to me. Honestly, I feel like criticisms like this are taken with a grain of salt, especially when games are in beta. But honestly, sound design is very important in games, especially tactical shooters where you need to know where everybody is and information is very critical. But I have hella faith that the team has worked on the sound design, and it will actually be even better than it was in the beta when the full game comes out. And Phantom simply says circuits. Honestly, real as hell. Real talk though, the characters are well thought out and have unique designs to them. It's good to see actual variety and not a lot of the same. The art style is the cherry on top to the game's design. Apart from this, the shard core mechanic is a fun twist to the game. Coming out with strategies on the spot instead of doing the same over and over and over makes for a different game every match. And Luck finishes the conversation by saying, every single match feels like a new game in itself. It's fast paced and the characters have proper personality. And honestly, guys, I just couldn't agree with these takes more. The game feels super duper fresh, the gunplay feels amazing, and the characters feel super unique. Not only that, but the aesthetic of the game is very pleasing to look at, and honestly, there's eye candy all over the place. Not one time in my over 70 hours of gameplay was I ever bored or thought that the games were redundant, and I was able to just clock in hours on this game without even thinking about it because the game was just that replayable. No match felt the same, no match felt like I was doing the same thing over and over, and no match felt like I was being held back, not even by my teammates. This game is able to make a otherwise slow-paced and boring gameplay loop fun, exciting, and explosive, and the innovation from this game is honestly amazing. Hey, you still haven't talked about the guy. Oh shit, you're right, I didn't expand on that. Okay, so I want to talk about this guy's video, Tasty Meat Chunks. He made a video on Fragpunk just completely dogging it, and I know I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, but I didn't really expand on it because I was talking about the game, so now I'm going to circle back to it. This wasn't in the script, but we're going to work it in.
Fragpunk is not a good game. Honestly, the thing it reminded me of the most while playing it was honestly kind of Concord.
Okay, immediately I have to stop this guy here because what are you even talking about? Fragpunk comparing it to Concord. Concord was literally a PS5 ripoff made to rip off the team shooter genre and was made with literally no love and a high ass budget that had no good gameplay in it whatsoever. How is Fragpunk anything like that?
Because the actual execution of like the gunplay and the polish in the game isn't that bad, but it's just kind of the general design and conception of the game is so ass that I'd be amazed if this game can ever find a solid audience.
And see, this is why I say the gaming community has gone to shit. This guy wants to talk about the execution of the gunplay while he's sitting in the back with a sniper not even aiming in at anything. It's obvious this guy has no experience with tactical shooters and he doesn't even know how to play a shooter game, bro. And then this guy goes on to talk about the quote-unquote design conception. He doesn't even know what design conception means. He's literally just trying to use big words to sound like he knows something about gaming when he does not know nothing about quote-unquote design conception. And not only does he say these things without knowing what they are, he just goes on to be super fucking vague, saying that there's little things and things to talk about when it comes to Fragpunk without ever expanding on any of the topics he talks about.
The most apparent thing and the thing that made me stop playing the game is the voice lines fucking suck.
Call me Mr. Watercolor because I'm feeling streaky.
What the fuck did you just say?
So you're telling me that the reason that you stopped playing the game was not the gameplay, not the cosmetics, not the transactions, but the voice lines. Then he goes on to pull up a clip of a artist character. The character has the background being artist. Axon is a artist, talking about the streaks of watercolors and how he is being streaky, which correlates to his character. And then you try to make that seem cringe or something, like that was something out of the blue or unordinary. But let me give this guy a little bit grace. Maybe he has something positive to say about the card system. That's one of the most defining features about Fragpunk.
And it's in this weird middle ground where the wacky modifiers aren't quite wacky enough to be interesting.
The wacky modifiers aren't wacky enough to be interesting. Let me go over some cards for you guys. You have a card that gives you a samurai sword. You have a card that makes you a zombie. You have a card that makes you literally fucking explode when you die. You have a card that makes the entire map icy and gives everybody the ability to slide like Axon. You have a card that literally gives you mushrooms that you can bounce off like Rayman that can help you traverse the map. You have a card that literally gives you a turtle shield on your back that makes it so you take less damage from behind, which looks goofy as hell, which is funny as hell. You have a card that can spawn AI bots for you, which is hilarious when you watch them get a kill, and you have multiple forms of healing, including a card that lets you shoot your teammates to heal. How is that not fun?
You don't get to choose like a set loadout of cards that you want to bring with you into games. It's just all of them, and the more you level up, the more cards you get. So it kind of just feels unfair.
Honestly, guys, I'm just gonna go over his next few points and I'm gonna end the video because this guy is honestly just pissing me off and it's making me angry, bro. The entire point of the game, you're not supposed to have a loadout of cards because it's supposed to be random and you're supposed to make up your strategies on the fly. You obviously missed the point of what the game was supposed to be.
And most of them are just boring ass stat increases. The one-off funny or interesting ones being kind of not that great. I don't know. It's kind of just a bad game.
There's no way this man just grabbed the card that literally gives you infinite shield as long as you're outside of a building, saying that it's bad. Then on top of that, this guy's supposed to talk about some, oh my god, it's unfair because you get more cards as you level up. Just play the game. Literally just play quick match, bro. Like, you're complaining about having to play the game to get cards, dude? Like, what are you talking about? And this is the kind of thing with the gaming community I'd be talking about, because it's like, it feels as if when these games are innovating and they're trying to do something new and they're trying to bring something fresh to the community, they just sit there and they spit on it because they have to put time and effort into playing the game to get it to shine to its full potential, bro. You have to play the video game, bro. You're not just gonna get on it and you're not gonna get every single thing and you're not gonna understand every single thing in the game. You have to put time into the game to actually be able to understand it and how to use the cards and how to use everything, bro. They're not just gonna give you everything and let you run bug wild with it because you're probably gonna be confused just like you are now. He's complaining about the map. He's complaining about the abilities, he's complaining about the character designs, and it's just like, you're just like, did you even play the same game? Like, most of his gameplay is just him sitting in a corner behind a wall. You're not even doing anything, you're not even moving, you're not even trying to play the game at its full potential. You're literally just sitting in a corner like it's CSGO or it's Valorant, and it's not that, it's Fragpunk. Play it like it's Fragpunk.
But then on top of all of that, we also have the fact that they fucked up the buy system.
So this guy thinks that they quote unquote fucked up the buy system because he's not able to buy the same gun over and over, bro. Literally just use a different gun. Like, it's literally so simple, bro. It's like everything he's saying is literally a skill diff. Use a different gun. How about you don't use your best gun first round? Maybe use a marksman. Maybe use a shotgun. Maybe use an SMG. There are literally 18 guns in the game. You should not be complaining about a lack of guns. Like, what are you talking about, dude? There is no buy system in the game. That's the entire point. It's called an innovation.
This game has a buy system where you can buy any gun at any point, but you can only buy one of each gun. This is such a terrible idea because it means that the longer the game goes, the worse your loadouts become.
That's not what that means. That just means you have to be smarter with what guns you choose when you're going within the round. Why would you use your favorite and or best gun first round? You wouldn't even do that in CSGO. You wouldn't do that in Valorant. So why would you do it in this game just because you have the ability to? That's the problem. You're not thinking with your whole brain. Like, bro, that's what I'm saying. This guy does not know how to play the game. He doesn't know how tactical shooters work. Like, you can literally apply the exact same knowledge of the CSGO and Valorant buy system to Fragpunk. Don't use your best guns at the beginning of the game. Use a marksman rifle, use a shotgun, and then as the match goes on and you need more kills, use better weapons. Like, literally, it's the same thing. I'm simply sick of people like this being given a platform. Your opinion should not matter because you do not put the work in for your opinion to matter. Like, you play one game and you think that that game should be the structure of every other game, and that's how gaming dies because you're expecting games to just clone each other over and over and over, and you're expecting them not to innovate. And when games finally do innovate, you tear them down and want to put them back in a box. So what is the point of making a new game if you're just going to put it back in the same box that CSGO and Valorant are in? And honestly, if this guy wanted to debate me or he wanted to try and like tell me why Fragpunk was a bad game, I would love to get on Discord and debate about this because I am sick and tired of the gaming community trying to bring down games for doing new things. Like, especially when these new things are something completely brand new and flipping a genre on its head. Like, Marvel Rivals is an amazing game, and I think Fragpunk is going to be one of those amazing games that are going to be in everyone's rotation because it makes tactical shooters fun, it makes it casual, and it makes it so you don't have to stress out and be a fucking aim god every second of the game, while you can still have a skill ceiling and be really good. The game is also very noob friendly. Like, it's very easy to get into because of the movement. It's not like Valorant where you have to learn how to counter strafe. It's not like CSGO where you have to learn smoke lineups. You can go in and you can just play, which is what the gaming community needs, because I feel like a lot of the gaming community is like, oh, you gotta be a sweat, you gotta be a sweat, and people are just tired of sweating their balls off every 30 seconds. Some people want to have a casual game, and the things that these games are trying to aim for is a casual experience that can be competitive, and that's exactly what Fragpunk has, the perfect balance of casualness and competitive viability. But with that rant out of the way, guys, I just want to tell you guys one more time to just go ahead and check out Fragpunk, man. Give it a try. This game looks like it's going to be the next big new thing, and I'm very, very excited for how this game is going to turn out. Make sure you wishlist it on Steam. Make sure you install it when it comes out March 6th. And you will definitely see me streaming it on the Twitch channel. You'll definitely see me making some YouTube videos on it, guys. So just make sure you stay tuned for the content. And yeah. With all that being said, guys, this is going to be the end of the video. Thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate you. I want to try and do this content more often. I want to try and talk about games and gaming news more. But I just want to know if y'all like this. So if y'all did end up liking the video, make sure you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and tickle that notification bell. And with all that being said, this is your boy Jelani MB, signing out. Bye-bye.
When I come in close, I had to tell her I can't kiss that shit. No, I can't kiss that shit. I done been chasing the bad like bank, pulling that car like a Visa. Still need a bad bitch look like Tisa. Yo, bitch a burger, she look like Lisa. Ball so hard, think I broke out the meter. Ball like Kobe, I broke my finger. Bitch, I'm a mom, but I play right through it.